The town of Bambang, Nueva Vizcaya serves as a vibrant center of agriculture and trade in the province, known as the main hub for fresh produce such as rice, fruits, and various kinds of vegetables. The Bambangueño culture is a colorful convergence of the native Isinay and migrant Ilocano and Tagalog people, resulting in a unique community. With a deep appreciation for hard work and tradition, this is one of its most renowned treasures. It is the Salinas Salt Spring, an extraordinary natural spring of salty water that, over a long period, has created white mountains of salt that look like snow on the mountainside. Aside from natural resources, the town is also home to the St. Catherine of Siena Church, which reflects their strong faith. Because of its strategic location along the Maharlika Highway, it has remained an important stopover for travelers and businessmen in northern Luzon. In this video, join me once again in a story of adventure filled with the beauty of nature. The kind where wherever you look you can see the unique beauty of Mother Nature. From the town of Bambang, we will ride a motorcycle through Bocod, Benguet until we reach the town of Kayapa, Nueva Vizcaya. We will pass through the remote barangays of Kayapa that until now have not yet been reached by electricity lines and urbanization. Nevertheless, we will experience the hospitality of the Kalanguya ethnic group who live here. Which barangays are these that have such beautiful scenery? You will witness all of that here in my story. Come on, join me on my journey.
Do you have electricity here?
None.
Oh, none. These schools, none as well?
None, sir.
Okay.
All of these houses already?
Good morning, friends. Welcome back to our new video. Join us on our adventure from the town of Bambang, passing through Bocod, Benguet. And joining us today are our friends whom I'm riding with on the trail for the first time, especially Bro JR, Maki, Macmoto, and who's next? Sir Eugene. We will show you the beautiful views here in Nueva Vizcaya.
Yes.
Let's go, let's go.
Let's go.
Here we go, friends. Our companions are ready. Our first destination is Barangay Salinas. You can see on the map, I'll just mark our route. From here in the town of Bambang, Nueva Vizcaya, we will pass through Barangay Salinas. Go straight through the other barangays until we reach Barangay Caballo of Kayapa, Nueva Vizcaya.
And on our way back, we will pass through Purgatory or Mount Purgatory. Then we will exit at the Gu area, the Sitio Gu of the Bocod, Benguet Poblacion, up to Barangay Pito, Bocod, Benguet. And then we will return Kayapa Municipal Hall.
We'll just eat here first before we head straight to our first destination, which is Barangay Salinas. We just don't know yet, my friends, what time we'll be able to leave Barangay Pito of Bocod, Benguet. One thing I noticed here in the town of Bambang, Nueva Vizcaya, my friends. There are many establishments, many houses. So this is the Nueva Vizcaya State University. This university is actually quite big. NVSU. Look, it's on both sides. And I also noticed here in the province of Nueva Vizcaya, it seems like there isn't a city. There's no Bambang City, Solano City. There's none, right? Unlike Pangasinan, which has Dagupan City, San Carlos City, Urdaneta City. Wow. We will pass by a bridge here. That's awesome, look. The water is so clear. This is the Santa Cruz River. Wow, the ambience here is really nice, my friends. We can see some mountains. There are also houses up there. And here there are coconut trees. Then there's a cucumber plantation. That's what we see below. So nice. The ambience is great. The air is so fresh. It's really nice to ride a motorcycle in places like this, right? Especially here in Nueva Vizcaya. Because most of the time, this is what we see here. Here it's flatlands, lots of rice fields. Then we also notice coconut plantations, music. That's amazing. There are so many coconuts here. And look, that's onion, my friends. Welcome to Barangay Barat. Barat, Bambang, Nueva Vizcaya, my friends. The road here is beautiful. Look, I saw some coconut trees again. Wow, nostalgic in the sense that there are coconut trees and then rice fields. That's usually how it is in the province. This is the real face of the province, especially in the southern Tagalog areas. There it is, friends, the mountains that you can see from afar. We're visiting those places. We're going to climb those until we reach the peaks of the mountains that are already part of Kayapa, Nueva Vizcaya. That's what you should look forward to in our adventure today. Barat Elementary School. This is their barangay hall here in Barat. My mountains look beautiful even if they're bald. Alright, we're here now, my friends, in Barangay Salinas, Bambang, Nueva Vizcaya. It sounds like salt because we're going to see a salt spring here. You can see the mountains over there, my friends. That's what we're going to cross. That's where we're headed. It's on our right side, my friends. We can see the Salinas salt spring there. That's the mountain already. It used to produce salt back in the day. That's where people used to get salt, the early settlers here. So we're going to turn right here. So advisory effective February 18. All 10-wheeler trucks will not be allowed. So we're not using 10-wheelers, so we are allowed. Okay, this is their barangay. It's probably the center because we saw a gym. Then look here at the houses. Why? Why are we going up the mountain? Alright, welcome to Salinas Elementary School. The school is beautiful. It looks like it's nice to study here, right? Salinas High School is on the other side. This way here. It's beautiful, my friends. Amazing. This is the first time I've seen a chapel with a name like this. Norbert's Chapel. The road here looks nice. You can tell it's newly built. Wow. The trees are huge. Now the concrete only goes up to here. May I ask, where exactly is Salinas Spring?
Salinas Spring.
Salt Spring.
It's this way.
Is it still far?
We're almost there. You know the whole story about that.
Yes, sir.
If they mix it with cement, you'll get some there.
Thank you, sir. Okay.
There, we're almost there.
Friends, we're now here at the boundary of Barangay Salinas and Mapayaw. You can see the boundary over there. And from here, we can also see Salinas.
Salt Spring.
That's the mountain where, according to the locals and the stories of the people here, there is a rock that produced salt in the old days. And over time, after a strong earthquake, they say it stopped producing salt. Salt? Were you there when it still made salt?
Back in the day,
Really? Yes. I see.
that's why it's called Salinas.
Ah, okay. When did that stop producing salt?
That was a long time ago.
But did you yourself witness it producing salt?
Yes, really. That's right. That's why I'm in Salinas, that's why I might already have a sickle too. That only stopped because from what I know,
It really stopped.
they're throwing leftovers into it.
Stopped. That's why it stopped.
There.
Okay.
Yung kanya.
Back in the day, that's really where the people here got their salt. Yes.
Some of them. There. That's why there weren't any houses here then.
Alright, sir.
Yes.
Aside from what we've researched, we also got a legit story from a local. Salinas Natural Monument Protected Area, 80 meters away from here. Let's go, we're heading to Mapayaw, Kayapa, Nueva Vizcaya. Tire path, we're seeing this kind of scenery again here in Kayapa, Nueva Vizcaya, where we usually see tire paths like this. Aside from being more durable, especially since it lasts longer, four-wheel vehicles can pass through. It's also very practical because since it's a mountain, they save on cement, less expenses. And they can extend the cemented road even further, reaching remote areas. Kayapa town is really vast, my friends. After Salinas, this barangay Mapayaw is already part of Kayapa. This goes all the way to the farthest part of barangay Ansipsip. All the way to Itogon, Benguet. And on the other side, there's Barangay Lawigan, which is followed by Barangay Fianza of San Nicolas, Pangasinan. Some parts of the road are a bit damaged. Wow, this area is beautiful. The climate is already cold, my friends. And then pine trees. These are the experiences that I really love, that I always want to have whenever we're here, when we're mountain biking. There, you can see it down below. Wow, beautiful. Awesome, my friends. Here, we already found a house here. They have a tamaro. Oh! Look at that. That pine tree is huge. Barangay Mapaya, Kayapa, Nueva Vizcaya. Shout out to the people here in your humble barangay. There, it's already cemented. The cement is already done, my friends. Look, they still have jeeps here. Heavy duty jeeps. Dalayap Church. Wow, that house looks nice. Yeah, there are stores here, shops. There's one here too. It's nice. The next place we're heading to is Barangay Binalian.
Okay.
Their center is located here. Here it is there. Barangay Mapayaw, see? Basketball court. Okay, Mapayaw Integrated School. Beautiful. Look at that. The school is beautiful. Trucks here also transport vegetables. They carry chayote and ginger. So where we are right now, my friends, is the center of Barangay Mapayaw. This is the school. And over there, up ahead, is their barangay hall.
And mostly the people who live here.
Are Igorots. From here at the center of Barangay Mapayaw, we will go straight to Binalian, Kayapa, Nueva Vizcaya. Wow, look, the houses are still beautiful. There are vehicles. The people here, even though it's in the mountains. Welcome to Purok Tres, Mapayaw, Kayapa, Nueva Vizcaya. Then there's a church here. There, that's one of the... Oh no, it's not at the church. Speaking of church, my friends, you know, a community is complete when it has a school and a church. And of course, when there's a barangay hall. You can see that a barangay is thriving or well organized. Shout out to the people from here. Barangay Mapayaw. We can see a lot of stores here, right? You can see their roads. The ground here is really uneven. But look, they still manage to do it. They still find flat areas so they can build houses. Wow. Look at that. On the mountains, we can see some vegetable crops. Then there are some white things on the top. I don't know what those are. On that peak, oh, there's a road going up there. So it turns out we still have to pass through there. We can actually see a lot of places from our location here. Just look. Wow. We're so high up. Awesome. That's intense. Even if it's a mountain, at least it's paved. The thing is, over time, some parts got damaged. There are stores here. So if you go on an adventure here, you'll find a lot of things to buy. Now there's a fork. I don't know where that leads. I don't know this one either. Anyway, I'll just take the usual path, the one I always take. At least the road is clean. The surroundings. You won't see a single piece of plastic here. Can you believe we're actually heading toward that mountain? For the people here, friends, people from Mapayaw or from Binalian, Kayapa. I wonder what's up there at the top. We can see some white spots. They look like trash, but they're not. It's impossible for that to be a dump site. It's at the top of the mountain. Wow. Ubi, what? Ubi. So this is Sitio Ubi. this is where we are right now. Wow, it's really something. Some parts of the road are damaged. Here, we can see some signs here, so we really won't get lost. This is the path we'll take, going to Binalian. Oh, this is also the way to the cold campsite. They say this is a nice campsite. We're actually in Sitio Ubi, my friends. Look at that, they have stores here, and they're well stocked. There's even a karaoke place here. Amazing. Oh, there's a gasoline station, then a motorcycle shop. Alright. What we're seeing there is a coyote farm. It's different here in this part, because we're at a high altitude. The breeze feels cold when you're riding a motorcycle, when you pass through places like this, the shaded areas. There, look. They plant coyote here because it's cold. But when you're in the sun, you can really feel the heat. The roads are really something else. They're actually bumpy. It's also hard for four-wheel vehicles, especially ones carrying vegetables. The place we came from, Barangay Mapayaw, and also they're in the town of Bambang, Nueva Vizcaya. Then, about the tomatoes they planted, some people actually commented, they said that's why it's turning bluish. It's because of the fungicide, so that's what it looks like when it's loaded with fungicide, just so the insects won't eat their tomato plants. Peace. Up there are some plants. The tomatoes there are older. Check the road, it's always being used. They're turning black, see? Four-wheel vehicles carrying vegetables pass through here. Oh! There, these are the ones widening the road here. Wow, just look at that. Sir, they're beautiful, look. Yeah. So we'll climb that again, huh? The mountain we're pointing at up there looks like we can pass through. Let's try to go there. Look, we're on a mountain, but they still enforce waste segregation here. There's another sign here. Welcome to Nabuag, Balong, Uliweg, Babalig, Babadi, Binalian. So we're here. This is for Sitio Nabuag. Beautiful. Okay. This is the road going to cold campsite. Maybe the mountain we see over there with white patches on top is the way to cold campsite. Then Uliweg Elementary School. 500 meters from this point, and since we're heading to Barangay Binalian, let's take the right side of the road. There are a lot of people living here. The ones we see are Igorots. We're going downhill now, okay? There are some white spots, okay? Because here we can see it up close. The white things on top of the mountain are actually rocks, my friends. The soil here is red. Imagine, my friends, this is already the top of the mountain. I mean, we're already in the mountains deep inside. They have utility poles here. There are proper houses. Look at their mountain vehicles. And the people living here are Igorot. Hello, sir. Who are the people living here? They're Igorot. What language do you speak here? Kalanguya. Ah, okay. What barangay is this? Mapayaw. Sitio Uliwag. Okay. Barangay Binalian is still far. Okay. Alright. Alright. Thank you. Sitio Uliwag. Barangay Mapayaw. They say their language here is Kalanguya. Wow. Look at that. Wow, guys. This is different. It's different, right? It's really different. It looks different. It seems like it could work. Awesome. I wonder which barangay that is. The one over there.
We're not going to pass by that either, sir.
I just don't know. As long as we're heading straight to Barangay Binalian. The characteristics of the soil here are unique, my friends, because as we can see, they plant vegetables here, like tomatoes. They plant chayote there since it's cold. Just like it, right? But there are so many rocks. We see a lot of rocks here, friends. They're out, they're exposed. Look, they have something planted here that I just don't know if that's cauliflower or broccoli. That's what they planted there. They even have a fish pond. Wow. Wow, the atmosphere here is really different, friends. It's like we're in Ifugao. We're surrounded by gardens. Most of what they plant are tomatoes. We're in the mountains and they have vehicles like that. They use them to transport vegetables. Wow. Awesome. Beautiful. Hey! Look, there's still a road down there. And there's a school over there. Wow. See, this is what I mean. Rocks are sticking out. They're gardens. In the name of good shots, we flew the... Our drone is critical. Because I came from there. Then it went down to 0%. It didn't die yet. Let's test it again to see if it still works. It crashed. I think my battery died. Luckily, it's just nearby, friends. Okay. Okay, then that's it. Oh.
Home point updated.
This drone has been through a lot. Let's try again, friends. The bananas look so healthy. This is how things work on the roads here, my friends. It's just a tire path. Wow. At least the pine trees here are still thick. This place is so nostalgic. It's like you're just strolling around Burnham Park. Oh, because of the thick pine trees. Look here, even though it's a mountain, their soil is so fertile. That's one of the reasons why the Igorot people really love the Highlands. Because the soil here is fertile, they can plant different kinds of vegetables that thrive in cold and high places. Wow. Their road here is already fixed. It's already wide now. Amazing. Kayapa is really amazing, isn't it? At least. Even though these places are already far away. They still have them built. The roads. Shout out to the people of Binalian, Kayapa, Nueva Vizcaya. Your place is very beautiful. You can now buy many things here, so there's no need to go to town. Except for those items or parts that you really need to go to town to buy. But here they almost have everything you need. Their traits are usually like this, repeating constantly. Here, we can see in the remote barangays here in Kayapa, Nueva Vizcaya, right? It feels like it's really hot here. But at least somehow we can see some potatoes. Here, there are also some watermelons planted. Friends, from here in Barangay Binalian, let's now head to Barangay Banaw of Kayapa. Then when we get to Banaw, that's where we'll be. We'll turn right going to Barangay Cabalo. All of these are places we're visiting for the first time. It's our first time to travel here. But the thing is, we really like to ask questions. The road here is really rough. Wow, it's still a rough road here. But somehow it's still manageable. It's very slippery here during the rainy season. Loose gravel. Hey, the cement's finished. Wow. Hey, awesome. The mountains look bluish. Nice. Wow. Oh, look at that banyan. Amazing. There are still places like this deep inside Kayapa. That's awesome. It's already paved. At least it's not just a tire path anymore, right? It's just really steep going up too. Alright. Good thing we found it like this. It's already paved. Wow. Oh. Awesome. Nice. Wow, my friends. The pine trees here are beautiful. They're so big now. And they're maintained like that so the forest doesn't get stripped bare. It's so beautiful, look. Wow, amazing. I'm getting goosebumps again. I can see the beautiful view here again. These are real pine trees. You can't see any houses around here. I hope it stays like this. They're really beautiful to look at. And friends, it's cold here. It's cold right now. It's unlike the places we passed earlier. Wow, it's beautiful. There's a machine here that was used to widen the road. It was just left behind. You never get tired of traveling this kind of road. Let's go back to the rough road. This is really slippery. How are you locals from Barangay Banaw? How are you all in the rainy season? It's slippery here, isn't it? But you just have to be patient. Well, this is really where they live. And I bet there's probably already a plan here for a farm-to-market road. The Department of Agriculture was given a huge budget for this to connect the many inner barangays to the towns, so that their products can be delivered faster and more efficiently, especially the vegetables. Look, the mountains over there are already the greenest. Maybe that's a mountain range connected to Mount Pulag. It's a protected area, you can tell. Wow, so nice. Check out the locals' motorcycles here. Just Rusi, powerful. There, we're just stopping here for a bit because Bro JR and Worst Next are getting some coffee. Balian, we're here in the middle part of Barangay Binalian and Barangay Banaw. So we're approaching Barangay Banaw. Then after that, we'll go up to Barangay Cabalo. after we chatted with each other, friends. Then we had coffee here in this shady and beautiful spot. We'll head straight to Barangay Banaw. Let's go! The road here isn't paved yet, but it's still passable. Even four-wheeled vehicles can get through. They transport vegetables like cabbage. They come from the higher parts of the villages here in the interior of Kayapa, Nueva Vizcaya. Look over here. That's what the cabbage looks like. They're so healthy. Their farm up there is so vast. That's amazing. We're just going around this cabbage farm. These are the ones they've already harvested from. Look, I'll show you why they don't harvest these. Some have already been harvested, but this one hasn't because, as you can see, it has holes in it. There, look. So they don't harvest them anymore. There are also some small ones, but you can still make do with those. Look. Here are the Napa cabbages, my friends. They're also called Pechay Baguio. Then we notice there's fertilizer. They put fertilizer on them. Look. Nice. This one's already been harvested. See? That's where it was cut and harvested, sir.
That's why I thought it stopped growing.
Sat, I don't have any.
Di na nila pakinabangan yan. When you peel it, there's something underneath.
Yes. Because the middleman will rip them off too. Middleman. So it's just better that way.
Just leave it there and let it become fertilizer.
We're going down again. The forest is still thick in those mountains, my friends. We'll pass by that later. There's a vintage vehicle here. I just don't know what kind of vehicle this is. It's like, you know, it's like a Land Cruiser. Wow, the mountains are so green. Wow. Oh. Amazing.
There are a lot of mamig. You really can't stop those people.
This is awesome, friends. Here. Hey. Hey, wow, they're beautiful. Hey. Oh my. It's so beautiful here. It also feels so cool, my friends. Wow. That's the priceless moment in the adventure we're having. Wow, we're still going there. We're still seeing more paths. And look at those behind us. Mountains. Maybe that's Mount Ugo. The people from here. The ones from Barangay Binalian or Barangay Banaw. What can we see over there, my friends? There are roads, then there are some elevated areas. It still seems nice, you know, to explore. Let's explore that in our next adventures. Here you can really notice it, you know, the forests are still so thick. Look, friends, that's where we're going to pass through. We still have to climb all the way up there. We'll pass by a lot more cabbages. Most of the crops I see here are cabbages. Wow, we're so high up. Oh, it's so deep too. Cliff. And then here there's a cable. They have a water line running through. Wow. Oh, there are so many water lines. This is where we'll pass through. Ow. I don't think we'll be going up anymore. Turns out we're going down here. Alright, we're going down here. I thought we'd still pass the upper road. Hey! Turns out we're not. Let's head to Barangay Banaw first. Wow. Amazing. We actually came from up there earlier. Now we're going down. Look at how hardworking our fellow countrymen are, especially the Igorots. Look at how they plant their vegetables. The hardships they go through just to plant those. That's why it's really unacceptable when their vegetables are just bought cheaply. From planting to transportation, you can already see the hardship and sacrifice of our farmers here in the highlands of Nueva Vizcaya. Wow! Hey! The view is amazing. Breathtaking, my friends, right? Sheesh, awesome! We're passing through it. Up ahead. The road here is slippery. Wow! Look at that, the water is so clean. Awesome. It feels so fresh here, doesn't it? This gets really slippery when the ground is wet. These are the ones that always... The locals here always encounter this when transporting their goods from Barangay Banaw in Kayapa, Nueva Vizcaya. Look at how big their garden is. Even though the land is uneven, they are able to make use of it and plant vegetables. Then there are flowers, plants, and there's a house on top. Their way of life is very simple and humble. It's really nice to see that deep inside Kayapa, there's actually a community like this. It's really hot right now, but they also go through this kind of road. Imagine what it's like during the rainy season. I can only shake my head when I imagine the challenges they're going through here. But still, they chose to live happily and peacefully in this place. I salute you. Let's go. I'm really impressed by you, my friends. So nice. Maybe this is where they get the sand to build their houses. The water is so clear. Wow, the clarity is amazing, my friends. And then we can see something here. Old hanging bridge. Maybe back in the day when vehicles couldn't access this place yet and people were just walking, they really used that old hanging bridge. Look, even though we're already in the mountains, nature, take care of it for the future. Look at this, my friends. Let's try to cross that old hanging bridge. But it's scary now. Look, it's full of holes. It's not safe anymore, but I just want to show you that this is their hanging bridge. There it is. Listen to the sound of the rushing water. It sounds so pleasant to the ears. Alright, we're going a bit uphill again because we've already reached the lower part. There are even automatic bikes here.
Someone's on a Mio.
That's why it's only up to here. The question is which way? Is it left or right? We're now in Barangay Banaw. We're already in the proper area, my friends. We asked someone there earlier. I wasn't able to record it. From the owner of the Mio. Look at how steep this is. My tricycle is skidding. Wow, hey, awesome. Look at this. Vegetable garden. Here it is, chayote, my friends. They have planted some chayote. This is on our right side. Wow, it's steep. Damn, that was close. I almost fell. I'll show you the chayote. We saw a chayote fruit. Actually, there are a lot. It's just not that visible on camera. Wow, we're so high up. That's where we started down there. We're still far from our destination. Let's go. I thought it was on power pole or power line. Turns out it's their water line.
Wow.
Awesome. Beautiful. Nature is really beautiful. Hey. I took the wrong way. I should have gone up there. Wow. This is really where we can see the vast cabbage fields. It's really impressive. So, it's true. Kayapa is the vegetable bowl capital of Nueva Vizcaya.
Wow.
Hello, bro. Where does that road lead to? This one leads to Caballo. Alright. We passed by just for a moment. Oh. Wow. Let's raise it up. We went past it. Bye. Bye. Oops. Okay, that's the Banaw Elementary School up there. Shout out to the teachers and students of this school. Oh, your school looks great. What's the name? The name of this school? This one? There. Banaw Elementary School. This is Banaw Elementary School. So far, they're improving their buildings here. Solid. So this is actually the center of Barangay Banaw, my friends. Because aside from the elementary school we see here, their barangay hall is also just up there. There it is. Welcome Barangay Hall of Banaw, Nueva Vizcaya. So this is their main center. Peaceful, simple, and we can see that the people living here are Igorots, Highlanders, friends. And also, they're good at planting highland vegetables like cabbage, chayote, which we can see growing everywhere like that one. That's chayote. Good afternoon, sir. Good afternoon, sir. What's this? Is there electricity here?
None, sir.
Oh, none. The school's none as well.
None.
Okay.
All these houses, nothing.
Maybe in Barangay Caballo.
Yes, down here.
Do they have electricity there?
No, none.
None either.
So it's haba ng kabayo now.
Okay. Are you a counselor here?
I am.
Yes. Are you the counselor?
Who?
Okay. We happened to pass by your beautiful and simple barangay, and we just found out now that you don't have electricity here.
Yes, sir.
So here in Barangay Banaw, Kagawad invited us to have some coffee first. Banaw Health Station. It's very simple. It really reflects, you know, the old times. It's just like a house, right?
This is their map.
Their source of power is amazing, my friends. Solar, that's what they're using. Like that, they have a laptop, they have a printer. They can print, they can use a laptop because they have solar power. What is the total population here in Barangay Banaw, Kagawad?
500. 500.
Okay, 500 at least. How many sitios are in Banaw? 7, sir. 7.
To the councilor in Kibian.
Okay, the language here is really just Kalanguya in the whole barangay of Banaw.
Barangay Banaw. But what about Ilocano? They also know it. They know.
What is your internet source here? How? Data? Well, there's no signal.
No, the signal is available. Yes, sometimes there's none.
This is their coffee here, Barako. It's legit, my friends. The taste is so organic, so raw. Every word you can think of that means authentic.
I think so.
Are we going to line up there, sir?
At their coffee stall. The aroma is great.
So there you have it, my friends. We learned the stories of the locals here and some basic information about Barangay Banaw in Kayapa, Nueva Vizcaya. And we'll head straight to Barangay Caballo. Join us all the way there. And that's it for now for our first episode of our adventure from Bambang, Nueva Vizcaya. We've made it here to Barangay Caballo in Kayapa, Nueva Vizcaya, and we're heading out to Bocod, Benguet. So stay tuned. Catch me in our second episode until we make it out of Bocod, Benguet. Thank you so much, my friends. Until our next adventure, stay with me. And I hope you enjoyed our adventure. Thank you, and we still have even more exciting adventures to do until we get out of Bocod, Benguet.